You probably know someone who avoids social media. They don't post photos. They don't share updates. They barely exist online. And if we're honest, that person might be you. You're at dinner. Someone says, "Hold on, let me post this." Everyone leans toward their phones. You don't. Or maybe you've opened Instagram, framed a photo, then closed the app instead. That moment matters. Because right there, between opening the camera and hitting share, your brain runs a silent calculation. Will people judge this? Does this make me look good enough? Do I really want this online forever? Most people think avoiding social media means you're shy or disconnected, but that's not what's happening. Your mind is weighing exposure against peace, attention against privacy, performance against comfort. And more often than not, it chooses protection. This isn't weakness, it's psychology. But here's what almost nobody tells you. That small hesitation reveals how you see yourself, how you process pressure, and what you value more than approval. And once you understand what's happening inside your mind, everything about this behavior starts to make sense. Social media feels casual. But psychologically, it's a stage, a massive one. Every post becomes a performance with an invisible audience. And unlike real life, these moments don't fade. They stay. Your brain knows this, so it starts managing impressions. Psychologist Irving Goffman described how humans naturally wear masks to control how others see them. Social media didn't invent that, it amplified it. Now your caption isn't just awkward, it's permanent. So your nervous system steps in. It asks, is this worth the exposure? Is this worth the judgment? Is this worth giving strangers access to my life? For many people, the answer becomes no. Not because they hate connection, but because they're tired of performing happiness instead of experiencing it. This is why posting can feel draining while staying silent feels relieving. You're not avoiding people, you're avoiding pressure. But this pressure doesn't stop when you close the app. It quietly follows you while you scroll. And that leads to something far more damaging than most people realize. Even when you know social media isn't real, your brain still reacts to it. You see someone's promotion, someone's engagement ring, someone's new house, and suddenly a thought appears, am I behind? Psychologists call this upward comparison. And it's emotionally expensive. Studies show that constant comparison mixed with privacy concerns and social pressure creates anxiety and exhaustion. That's why nearly 30–40% of users become silent observers. They scroll, but they don't share. Not because they're weak, because their brain is protecting them. Even browsing without posting triggers comparison. Your subconscious doesn't care if it's staged, it just sees someone doing better. So many people quietly step back. They reduce exposure, they stop posting, they choose peace over participation. This is emotional self-defense. And once you understand that, avoiding social media stops looking like withdrawal. It starts looking like awareness. But there's another layer most people completely miss. Psychologists describe two types of self-awareness. Public awareness focuses on how you look to others. Private awareness focuses on how you feel inside. People who avoid social media usually lean toward the second. Instead of asking, how will this look? They ask, how does this feel? That changes everything. They don't need constant validation. They don't chase reactions. They don't feel pressure to narrate their lives. That's also why many of them enjoy watching YouTube but avoid platforms like Instagram or TikTok. YouTube doesn't demand performance. You simply observe, learn, exist. They also tend to keep smaller circles, not fewer connections, deeper ones. 5 real friends matter more than 1,000 likes. They choose meaningful conversations over digital applause. They're not disconnected, they're selective. But society mistakes this for being antisocial, when in reality, it's intentional living. And that misunderstanding leads to the biggest myth about them. People assume staying offline means you lack confidence. But many avoiders are deeply self-aware. They understand something powerful, attention costs energy, so they protect it. They don't broadcast every achievement. They don't perform every emotion. They don't outsource their self-worth to algorithms. They value privacy. That takes strength. They experience moments before documenting them. A sunset feels better when you're not photographing it. A win feels richer when it's just yours. Research shows that people who post less often display higher levels of reflection and emotional regulation. Their happiness isn't tied to likes or comments. They're playing a longer game. Avoiding social media isn't hiding. It's choosing presence over performance, peace over noise. But here's the paradox. The traits that make people avoid social media, control, self-reflection, security, are exactly what social media promises to give. And that brings us to the final truth social media promised connection. Instead, it created a performance economy. Being real became rare. Silence became strange. But the people who opt out aren't rejecting connection. They're rejecting the terms. They're saying, I'll connect in real time, without filters, without applause. They understand that life doesn't happen on screens. It happens in quiet mornings, in deep conversations, in growth nobody sees. At the end of life, nobody wishes they had posted more. They wish they had lived more. So if you avoid social media, you're not behind. You're choosing depth over noise, presence over performance. And sometimes, the quietest people are living the loudest lives. If this resonated, consider subscribing for more psychology insights, because understanding yourself will always matter more than being seen.